Basking Root Walla is pretty good. He can discard the Basking Root Walla to his Fauna Shaman, and that actually counts, even though he's using Madness, it counts him casting a spell. So that can be his second creature to return his Vengevines.
Oh wow, yeah, because he's casting it just for its Madness cost.
Madness cost, you're actually casting the spell, so
wow, yeah, that's really awesome.
It looks like a really cool deck.
I know people were playing, I know Jerry T actually played Buried Alive Vengevine in the Elf combo deck at one point, trying it out. I don't know if he was very happy with it, but I think that's what he played in DC in the Legacy portion. But, you know, I've heard of people using Buried Alive Vengevine just by themselves. That just seems pretty strong. I like Intuition Vengevine myself.
Yeah, the Buried Alive piles all seem really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, basically this is a Buried Alive deck.
Yeah, it's a Buried Alive deck. It's also it's kind of like it's a post-survival deck.
Yeah,
that's a good way of looking at this.
Yeah.
He also has Cabal Therapies, which are really strong in his deck. I'm surprised there aren't necessarily. I'm surprised to not see Cataxian Probes. That's a card I think people should really play with Cabal Therapy.
Yeah.
I think Cataxian Probe is good with Cabal Therapy. It's good with Meddling Mage. There are a lot of ways to abuse it.
Unless in this case he's using it to therapy himself.
Well, yeah, I mean, his therapies are just really good with Bloodghast and things like that, too. His opponent, much more standard, playing like an Esper, you know, Stoneblade deck.
Is it Esper or is it just black-white? Looks like it's just black-white.
Oh, yeah, it's just a black-white.
So, black-white like Stoneblade?
Joe Bernal-esque deck, but with Scullers. 2 Sculler.
Yeah, 2 Scullers, 2 Gatekeepers, 4 Stoneforge, 4 Dark Confidant, and then Bitter Blossom, Vindicate, Thoughtseize, him, Swords of Plowshares, Chrome Mox, Elspeth. In the meantime, there we have a Thoughtseize from Steven. Taking a look at Ken's hand, we've got Misty Rainforest, Buried Alive, Vengevine, Noble Hierarch, Fauna Shaman, and Open Series Baltimore. I think it's Bloodghast.
It is a Bloodghast.
Yeah, it is. There we go. Bloodghast. Thank you, Matt.
Buried Alive is a cool card. It costs 2 colorless and 1 black. It's a sorcery, and you search your library for 3 creature cards and put them into your graveyard.
So really good with something like Vengevine, where you just put the Vengevines in the yard, play 2 creatures, and now you've got triple Vengevines in play.
Ken is encouraging his opponent to take the Bloodghast.
Seems like a reasonable option, but Steven does not bite, and Ken leads with the Misty Rainforest and passes back. So Steven adds Martial Arts to the board and immediately cracks it.
And Steven's going to play Dark Confidant here. Should be pretty good against Ken.
Or him to Torah. Does he have him in hand? Because he did just get double swamp now. And let's see. Dark Confidant, definitely a great turn 2 play, but that looks like him to Torah on the top of his hand. That's a Liz Danforth him to Torah.
Him. And, you know, Ken could be pretty happy with this him. You never know.
Yeah.
What if he hits Vengevine Bloodghast?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's actually not a bad thing for Ken to get hit by him. And he hits 2 lands. Whoa. That is not the kind of him that you want from, at least for Ken. Now, of course, that's the strength of him to Torok. It can hit your lands. He kept a hand. I mean, he at least has a follow-up land there. So it may not be as backbreaking as it looks, but Ken cracks both fetch lands for double Bayou.
I think he's going to cast that Fauna Shaman.
Yep, Fauna Shaman passed to Steven.
Now Steven's got to make a choice. He's probably just going to Diabolic Edict this away.
And that's exactly what happens. Passes back to Ken. So Steven doing a good job of just keeping Ken contained.
Yeah, hitting those 2 lands was pretty brutal.
Yeah. So Ken adds Bloodghast to the board. And Steven now untaps and has... I mean, he does have Bob in hand, right? It looks like he did have Bob in hand, and now he's on the battlefield. kind of cool that Steven can also serve with that Bob, considering that Bloodghast can't block. So until Ken has another guy, he doesn't need to worry about losing his Dark Confidant in the red zone.
Now Steven gets a choice of Buried Alive or Reanimate.
Yeah, Thoughtseize from Steven. Seems like it's tough because, like you said, Buried Alive plus Reanimate is a combo. You obviously want to take one of those. Yeah, I guess you take the one he can cast rather than the one he right now can't cast.
Yeah, that Reanimate could easily just be a Fauna Shaman.
Right. So Bloodghast in for 2. And the second Bloodghast. So now that's a nice clock for Ken. Steven already at 12 from his own double Thoughtseize and his fetch lands.
Let's see, he has a Tide Hollow Sculler now.
So Tide Hollow Sculler.
He's going to go ahead and take that Buried Alive. This game could have gone much differently if that Ham had hit differently, but right now it looks very bad for Ken here.
Well, into the red zone with double Bloodghast. Steven takes 4. Goes down to 7.
Goes down to 7 here.
And Fauna Shaman for Ken. Bob reveals another Tide Hollow Sculler, putting Steven to 5 life, which is precarious right now.
He is he's at a very low life total. Now, let's see what Steve has. Steve plays a Sword of Fire and Ice.
Really cool.
And I'm interested that Steve didn't attack. He probably should have blocked last turn if he didn't want to attack this turn, but
maybe he just, at this point, just realizes he does not want to attack. I mean, being at 5 life, I don't think I would attack either. But yeah, maybe he should have decided to block earlier.
Now, what can Fauna Shaman for right now? That would be good.
Yeah, in Ken's hand, he just has Vengevine and another Buried Alive. So, Ken swings with the Bloodghasts. Obviously, the right play, whether or not he has a land in hand, so that way he can potentially get a Bloodghast back if he did have a land. Steven blocks with Dark Confidant, and then takes the other 2, going to 3 life. And now Ken uses Fauna Shaman's ability, discarding a Vengevine. And let's see what he gets here. No way for him to play 2 creatures now, off of 1 mana. So that Vengevine's not coming back this turn.
Ooh,
there's a Kyrian Ranger.
Now, let me get the exact wording on Kyrian Ranger up for you guys.
Pull that up.
Now, Kyrian Ranger is a card that...
It's like a common from Visions, right?
It's a card that's pretty common in the Legacy Elf decks. Yeah. So, you can return a forest you control back to your hand to untap a creature. So, he can return a card, and then he can, untap his Fauna Shaman, and things like that. And this also allows him to put his Bloodghast back into play. And
yeah, he's a really nice interaction right now with the things he has in play. He can tap a green, activate Fauna Shaman, discarding something, getting something, then returning that same Bayou, which is a forest, to hand to untap the Fauna Shaman and reactivate it again. Replay that Bayou to get back a Bloodghast. I mean, he's got a lot of synergy right there. So Tide Hollow Sculler number 2 takes Buried Alive number 2.
Yeah. And I think this is it. I think Ken can just turn everybody sideways and win the game.
It looks like it. I mean, unless Steven has some sort of answer we're not thinking about. But yeah, Alpha Strike. And game 2.
Yeah.
Really like Ken's deck.
Yeah, Ken's deck is pretty cool because there he was, like, his opponent cut him apart, took everything from him. And here Ken is playing a combo deck where he plays a 3 Casting Gust card and a 1 Casting Gust card that just kills his opponent. And even though his opponent cut apart his combo just completely into pieces, he was able to just establish his board presence with Bloodghast of all cards and just keep on bashing. And that card's pretty good right now.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we see it in Standard doing really good work, and here it is in Legacy, shining.
Yeah, people are starting to play like removal spells like Diabolic Edict and things like that. I've seen a lot of decks that don't have 4 Swords to Plowshares, which seems criminal, but, you know, in this format, you need to deal with Emrakul, you need to deal with Progenitus, things like that, and people are starting to learn that, and as a result, Bloodghast becomes this very resilient thing that just keeps coming back. And works so well with your Cabal Therapy and with your Vengevines and whatnot.
Absolutely. You wonder if there's some kind of other, you know, bug control variant that does kind of maybe hinge on, you know, discard the synergy between Vengevine and Bloodghast and Cabal Therapy and things like that. I mean, and then just maybe blue control cards like Jace, Force of Will, things like that. Because just having a resilient threat like Bloodghast, I mean, a lot of you see blue control decks already just attacking with Mistress Factories for the win. Having Bloodghast that can die and come back is a really good option for a control deck.
Especially because most of the creatures in this format have 2 toughness, so if people want to stave off the bleeding, they're going to have to start trading with that guy. And that's just terrible.
It's not a good trade when Bloodghast just comes right back.
Ken Adams, consummate master. Always doing well at these tournaments.
And
you look through the top 16. Yeah, if you look through the top 16 of a bunch of Standard Opens or Legacy Opens, you'll often see Ken Adams' name there. Ken Adams is probably best known for his love for Greater Gargadon.
Greater Gargadon. I missed that card too.
Yeah, that's a great card. Ken is perhaps the biggest proponent of Greater Gargadon, and I think he probably plays the Greater Gargadon better than anybody else because he plays it exclusively in any format that it's legal other than Legacy, of course.
Well, how excited is he then for Modern? Greater Gargadon seems like, you know, it's more likely to see play in Modern than Legacy.
Yeah, I mean, you can play Greater Gargadon and then cascade into Restore Balance.
Yeah.
That way you just, you know, obliterate your opponent.
Absolutely.
And you get
and then you have a Gargadon.
Yeah, you get to put a 9/7 into play. It's pretty fun. With haste.
Oh yeah, haste.
Yeah.
That is one of those things that, you know, those what is it, suspend creatures. That was a fun mechanic. I don't know. I loved Time Spiral Block. I know.
I also love Time Spiral Block.
People say it wasn't successful or wasn't good for new players or something, but I mean, I guess I couldn't tell you because I loved it. I wasn't a new player at the time, so I don't know what it was like to play Time Spiral Block as a new player, but that was a really fun collection of sets. You know,
yeah, during early Time Spiral Block, I was out in Indiana, and my roommates and I enjoyed drafting Time Spiral so much that we literally had, I'd say, on average, 3 drafts a day.
Wow.
6 or 8 mans, just between, you know, the 4 guys who lived at my house and the other people from my school who would get to come over and draft with us.
Right.
They were just, every day after we were done with class and like done doing work, we would just come back to the house and just jam games of Time Spiral Limited. And then I actually won the Limited Pro Tour over Time Spiral, the 2-Giant one. So I love that format.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that have another good reason to love that format. Yeah. I mean, I think my favorite set is Time Spiral. For its nostalgia, like I love that. I love the purple, you know, reprints kind of thing that they had going on. The time-shifted cards, that was cool. Just to have cards coming back that you just hadn't seen in a long time. Like that was amazing, and it was so exciting at the time when it was like, really? Wait, they can't be doing this. They can't be putting an extra rare in packs. And it's like an old rare with the old frame. I mean, it's just felt so good. Yeah. I mean, a Chroma and, you know, Desert or something. You know, crazy
Sacred Mesa. That was a pretty nice one to open.
Oh, yeah. So I mean, it was just so much fun to see those cards in every pack.
You know, I had 2 Sacred Maces in the top 8 of a PDQ in the draft deck, and did not win that PDQ.
Seems like it would have been really good. Yeah. Well, Steven starts off game 2 with the Thoughtseize, just like game 1. We see that
Ooh, Ken apparently. Ken apparently sided in Natural Order, and not only did he side in Natural Order Progenitus, but now here's something we don't see ever: Big Game Hunter.
Big. What is that? Is that a card? Look
Big
that
Game
up.
Hunter. I know what it does.
I want to see the art on it.
I know what it does.
I believe
it has Madness. When it comes into play, you destroy something that's power 4 or greater.
I don't know. This is madness. This is Sparta.
It costs 1 BB, and when it enters the battlefield, you destroy a creature with power 4 or greater, and it cannot be regenerated. And it has Madness for one black. So just 1 mana to Madness it out.
Yeah, that's really nuts.
That's a rebel.
Just 1. Oh, that's not that relevant in Ken's deck, but it's pretty cool. So he loses the Dark Confidant to that Thoughtseize. Misty Rainforest, Thoughtseize, you're back.
Let's see, is he going to get his opponent's Confidant?
Oh, Mystic vindicates Sensei's Divining Top land, so... Yeah.
Ooh,
Big Game Hunter confirmed in M12? Well, we had that window open. Let's double check it. I don't know, Madness in M12? Hadn't seen that.
Yeah, I don't think they were pretty Madness.
Well, we're gonna double check on that. Just maybe just a little bit of confusion there. But on the table, Thoughtseize is. I mean, I don't know what you take here. I mean, he's got double Stoneforge.
Do you just take top?
Doesn't seem too bad.
You just take one of the Stoneforges?
Taking one Stoneforge seems so bad.
Yeah, I guess you just take top. That's fine.
Yeah, I feel like top has the potential to dig somebody back into a game so well. If you have to deal with one Stoneforge, you may as well just deal with both. And there's one of the Stoneforges from Steve.
Yeah, now...
is that loading still?
It's a shame that it's not an M12.
Okay,
yeah,
not
and
an
it's
M12.
madness.
Yeah.
But so interestingly enough, Ken actually has Cabal Therapy in his hand. So he would have been able to get both Stoneforge Mystics. Just a Gitaxian Probe would have done it.
That's true. Yeah. Gitaxian Probe, better than Thoughtseize. You heard it here first.
Alright, so...
You know, I didn't see what Steven grabbed, but I can assume it was a Batterskull. Should we assume it was a Batterskull? What did Steven grab with that Stoneforge? Oh, Jite, okay.
Yeah.
Just didn't even see it. Put it right into his hand so
So-
quickly, I missed it.
Ken has a few options here. Ken can, if Ken wants, Ken can play a Birds of Paradise, or Ken might just want to Cabal Therapy his opponent and name
Jite, name Mystic, I mean...
you might just want to name Mystic for now, and then play a Bird of Paradise.
Right. Flash it back, name Jite?
Okay.
He named Jite.
Okay.
He still can play a bird, flash it back, name Mystic.
I was thinking that he would want to take the Mystic and then hope that his opponent used the next turn to vindicate him, and then on the next turn he could play Bloodghast and use the Bloodghast with the Cabal Therapy.
That seems pretty good. Now the funny thing is, Steven doesn't want to play Mystic now because he can, unless he kills the birds, Ken can just Cabal Therapy whatever it is Steven searches for.
Yeah.
So it's almost better that he doesn't. Just the threat of Cabal Therapy keeps Steven from playing the other Mystic to get another equipment.
But, you know, he knows his opponent has the Bloodghast. He must be forgetting about
Yeah,
it.
so now he has to deal with decides to deal with the birds, right?
Ken will drop to 15 from that Stoneforge attack. Now, on Ken's turn, Ken is going to cast Bloodghast And then he's going to Cabal Therapy flashback. He's going to name Stoneforge Mystic. This opponent reveals a land to him. And he just passed the turn. And Ken's looking in great shape here.
Yeah. He has a Bob in hand to follow up that last play. And Verdant Catacombs for Steve. In with the Squire. Squire Forge Mystic.
It's down to 14.
And let's see. Did you draw another Bob?
I think he did draw another Bob.
There's a Bob.
Steven's going to drop down to 17, search his library for a scrub land. Or swamp.
Yeah, he's got double scrub land now, so.
Yeah. Ken's deck is pretty wacky. Might be a good idea to not get all non-basics, you never know.
Yeah. Who knows what
horror might bequeath.
Back to basics off of Birds of Paradise. Wait. I think that hurts Ken just as badly. Or right now, more.
Wow, Ken's deck looks awesome.
Yeah. I love the synergy there.
Records? What are the records? Okay, thank you. Ooh a Bitter Blossom.
Bitter Blossom, okay.
That's a pretty good card.
Bitter Blossom could pose a problem for Ken. Stoneforge Mystic in for 1.
But Ken is going to...
Reveals Noble Hierarch off the Bob.
Not too bad.
Draw off for the turn. Sees a Forest.
Forest, that's good. It'll allow him to return his Bloodghast from the graveyard.
And there's Bloodghast.
And then he can cast a Noble Hierarch and another Bob.
Both players are 3-0 headed into this round.
Nice. So, these people doing some work today.
And a Tarmogoyf, which we did not know he had. I don't think, did we?
Tarmogoyf came off the top. Or must have been in his hand already. The top had Hierarch Forest, right?
Right.
Alright, Steve is going to get a Fairy Rogue token. Then finds a Wasteland. And he's going to have to use this Wasteland if he doesn't want to have a Progenitus eating him next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Good timing for the Wasteland.
Feeling a natural order. Ooh, that's painful.
That's especially considering he can't cast it.
Yeah. Ken's probably going to bash with his Bloodghast and his Tarmogoyf. Ooh, and the Confidant. I like that.
He's definitely considering it. Yeah. How big is that Goyf?
That
Creature, land, sorcery.
Sorcery. Artifact.
Artifact, instant.
Is there instant yet?
Vindicate is an instant.
No, it's
right?
sorcery.
Is it a sorcery? I thought Vindicate was an instant.
Oh, no way.
It's a 4/5.
4/5. So yeah, land, creature, artifact, sorcery.
Okay. Why did I think Vindicate was an instant?
I don't need to make that card any better.
Well, that's why I thought it was so good.
Alright, Ken is going to put his opponent down to 7 with that attack. And he gets to play another Tarmogoyf. Steven drops down to 6, that Bitter Blossom. Draws first turn, and he finds a Swords to Plowshares. That's going to be useful. It'll pick off a Goyf.
Am I thinking of Putrefy or Mortify, or either of those instants?
Both of them are instants.
That's maybe where I'm getting it, because I always, those guys all kind of blend together. Even though they were printed in completely different sets.
So a wooded foothills for Ken, and a forest after that. Ken gets in the red zone with all of his guys again, and Steven's going to use the swords, but he's probably a little frustrated because by using the swords, he's going to increase Ken's life total, which seemed like it was one of the few ways he had to win from that spot. Now, let's see, he blocks both Goyfs, one with the Fairy and one with the Stoneforge Mystic. Now he's just going to take 2 and go to 4. Ken's letting him decide whether or not he wants to use his swords or not. Ken doesn't know what it is that Steve has, but he must know it's something. Now, Ken, post-combat, is just going to drop Bernardus onto the table, so Steve decides to go ahead and swords the Noble Hierarch. It's a pretty tight play. Ken will kill both of Steve's guys and drop Steve down to 4 life. He's going to play land. And third Goyf. Yep. Do you need that third Goyf? There you go. Alright. Steve is going to drop down to 3 during his upkeep. And Steve is at 3 right now. Stoneforge Mystic is Somewhere Majestic is played. He's probably gonna go fetch up a Batterskull. When you're at 3, that's basically all you can do. But you know, a swing with everybody from 10 will end the game anyway. So Ken's gonna turn everybody sideways, and again, sideboarded into a different combo deck and just kills his opponent the old-fashioned way once more. Very interesting deck from Ken Adams.
Really, really love the synergy. Again, the synergy, the combos, the ability to sideboard into a different combo. Seems really, really exciting.
Yeah, Ken was worried about flipping a Progenitus there. That would have killed him. So now Ken is at 7 and plays a land and gets in there with everyone. And that's it. So Ken Adams wins round 4, starting off 4-0 on the day, playing what looks a lot like a new version of Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Buried Alive, Reanimate combo in the main deck really kind of makes cards like Hymn to Torok, which have been getting better recently, or seeing a lot more play recently, it seems like, kind of worse when you have things like Bloodghast and Vengevine, and then just ways to get them back, things like, you know, Reanimate, and I don't know, seems really exciting. So that's round 4. Do we know how much time's left in the round? We're going to check on that. I don't know if we can bring you guys another match as these guys finish up sideboarding. 20 minutes? Any chance we can get another match? Is that what Matt working on that? All right, we're going to see if we can bring you guys another match. For those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco here with Jacob Van Lunen in Baltimore for the Star City Games